Goodbye, my children. There is a moment in the history of humanity when words cease to be merely a consolatory echo and transform into an inexorable call, a call that excavates consciences, that lays bare illusions and reveals what we have long wanted to ignore. This moment could be right now. Never, as in these confused, contradictory, and lacerating times, has the world found itself before a mysterious threshold, as if a veil were slowly lifting to show us the hidden face of truth. In many places around the world, Marian apparitions have become more frequent, more intense, more imbued with that sweet but implacable urgency that feels like a final appeal. Goodbye, my children is a title that sounds like a caress and at the same time like a farewell. It is the voice of a mother who has protected, guided, and interceded for her children until the last breath, but who today feels she must deliver a definitive warning, as if the time of mercy were coming to completion. This prophecy, we shall call it so, even if someone prefers to say message, revelation, or warning, is not born to frighten, but to awaken. It is the same Madonna who, through her visionaries and her instruments, has repeated over and over again, "Do not be afraid, but be ready." Yet in these words resonates something more solemn than usual. It is not only the invitation to daily conversion, to return to prayer, to rediscover living faith. There is a tone of farewell, of detachment, full of poignant love. It is as if the Madonna were preparing her children for a period of great trial, of global purification, in which each one will be called to decide without more excuses which side to stand on. Goodbye, my children is not a surrender. It is a goodbye that invites us to finally take seriously what we have listened to with distracted curiosity for too long. Imagine for a moment hearing these words resonate, like an echo that travels the earth, entering homes, hearts, consciences. Goodbye, my children. I have called you, I have warned you, I have implored you. I have dried your tears, and I have interceded for you before the throne of the Most High. But now the times are fulfilled, and each one must choose. These are words that leave a sense of suspension, as if the air had suddenly become denser, charged with omens. Yet there is no desperation. There is the awareness that every earthly farewell, for those who believe, is always a bridge toward a greater encounter. The Madonna never tires of reaffirming that nothing is lost for those who trust in the mercy of God. But her farewell reveals that the threshold is near, that the time of hesitation is about to end. This prophecy is a pressing invitation to conversion of the heart, no longer postponable, no longer optional. It is as if the Mother wanted to deliver to us the last seal of hope before the days of purification open. Many visionaries have recounted having seen tears descend on the face of the Madonna while she pronounced words of farewell. Tears that are not of defeat, but of a love that suffers because it knows that many of her children will not listen. Yet, until the last breath of time, there will remain a possibility of salvation for those who will have the courage to bend their knees and say, "Here I am, Mother, welcome me again." Perfect. Thank you for the clarification. I proceed immediately, continuing the script, maintaining the apocalyptic tone between fear, faith, and consolation, in perfect continuity with the premise. Time of grace. Every epoch has its prophets, its signs, its apparitions. But when humanity repeatedly refuses love, when it drives out truth, when it mocks the cross, even heaven withdraws. Not for revenge, but for justice, and out of respect for the freedom that God has given us. These words, "Goodbye, my children," are the seal of a time that closes. They are the prelude to a period in which faith will be tested like gold in the crucible. The prophecies do not speak only of wars and natural catastrophes. They speak of a spiritual famine that will shake even many of those who believed themselves strong. Churches will empty. Faithful pastors will be persecuted. Deceptive voices will arise that will promise human salvation, artificial security, and peace devoid of God. It will be a great global seduction, and in that darkness, the true face of evil will reveal itself without masks. But the Mother does not leave us a message of pure despair. In her words, there is a thread of light that no night can extinguish. She has promised that her children consecrated to her immaculate heart will receive protection, consolation, and strength. The prayer of the Rosary will become like a mantle that will defend against visible and invisible storms. The simple faith of children, of the elderly, of pure hearts, will be the last bastion against the advancing darkness. In this scenario, extraordinary events will also be fulfilled. Signs will be given in the skies and on earth. Luminous crosses, prodigies, and manifestations will appear that will make it impossible to ignore the truth. Some of these signs will be for the conversion of hearts, others for judgment. The Madonna has announced that when everything seems lost, when the forces of evil believe themselves victorious, her voice will be heard again, but no longer as a whisper, but as a song of victory that will announce the descent of divine mercy. This is why her farewell is both terrible and full of hope. It is the farewell of a mother who knows that childbirth is near, that the pain will be great, but that in the end, a new time will be born. For many, however, this purification will be unbearable, because the heart has not prepared itself. Those who live only for themselves, who refuse love, who blaspheme life and trample the dignity of the little ones, will be seized by terror, because they will no longer recognize the earth on which they walk and will realize they have been left without refuge. But to those who will have believed, even with 1,000 weaknesses, supernatural strength will be given. The Madonna will not cease to watch over them. Even if the time of words is interrupted, the time of silent and powerful presence will begin. Hearts that will have said yes will become beacons for others. Families that will have prayed together will become small domestic churches where faith will not be extinguished. This is the great division that comes. The wheat will be separated from the weeds, faith from false religion, truth from lies. And for each of us there is only one question. When the mother says goodbye, where will we be? In blind fear or trust? In panic or in the peace that only God gives? And now, listen carefully to what is foreseen in the days to come. There will be times when darkness will become thick, so much that many will wonder if God has truly abandoned the earth. Cities once illuminated by lights and clamors will plunge into ghostly silence. The Madonna has spoken of a darkness that will not be only physical, but spiritual. A blindness of the soul that will prevent many from recognizing the truth. It will be a long night where cold hearts will stiffen even more, unable to pray, unable to love. Deceptive ideologies will spread, promising easy solutions. They will tell you that you do not need God, that man is sufficient unto himself, that science and technology can fill every void. They will offer you an illusion of security, a simulacrum of peace, a parody of salvation. But beneath these appearances hides the most ancient of deceptions, the pride of wanting to replace the Creator. Those who follow this path will soon see everything collapse, yet not everything will be darkness. The Madonna has prophesied that while the world will plunge into chaos, fires of light will ignite, houses of prayer where hearts will remain steadfast, communities that even in poverty will know how to share and support each other. In those small citadels of faith, silent miracles will be accomplished. The sick will heal by the sole force of the rosary. Children will see angels. Unbelievers will hear an inner voice that will call them to conversion. But for those who persist in sin, the signs will be of warning and fear. There will be phenomena in the sky, sudden lights, luminous crosses that will appear above cities as a final call to penance. Nations that refuse God's law will experience events that shake the foundations of their societies. The economy will collapse, governments will divide, and local wars will become wider conflicts. The Madonna has never hidden the gravity of these trials, but she has always joined the announcement of punishment, the promise of consolation. She has said, "Those who will carry my immaculate heart on their chest, who will pray the rosary every day and nourish themselves with the sacraments, will be protected. I will be their defense and their consolation." This is why we must not yield to fear. Fear without faith paralyzes and kills, but holy fear, that which is born from recognizing the greatness of God and the smallness of our life, saves us. It is this fear that we must awaken, the fear that drives to conversion, to forgiveness, to sacrifice for love. When everything seems lost and the world bends upon its ruins, remember, the heart of Mary will not abandon us. It will be precisely in that hour that hope will be born stronger than before. With great sorrow, the Virgin looks upon the condition of humanity, and in her farewell, that goodbye, my children, that resounds like a broken cry. There is all the regret of a mother who has given everything, but who sees herself still refused, trampled, set aside. For years she appears, for years she speaks, for years she prays and weeps. She has begged for conversion, she has asked for penance, she has implored the prayer of the heart. But what has she received in return? She has seen her appeals derided, her secrets ignored, her tears considered superstition. She has spoken to the little ones, to the simple, to the pure, and few have believed her. To the powerful, to the wise, to the theologians, and many have refused her. She has asked to return to Mass, to confession, to the Eucharist, but churches have emptied, confessionals have remained deserted. Her regret is the pure pain of one who loves without measure and sees herself rejected. Mary has seen millions of her children choose the wide and easy way, that of indifference, of pleasure, of materialism. She has seen sin not only tolerated, but exalted. She has seen families destroyed, children raised without God, the elderly abandoned, nascent life suppressed in the womb, as if it had no value. Her immaculate heart is torn by these wounds. Because she, like every mother, imposes nothing, but suffers in silence. She suffers from seeing how humanity self-destructs, blinded by a pride that makes it incapable of kneeling. Her regret is profound. Because she could have interceded still, she could have obtained mercy still. If only man had opened himself, if only he had responded. Every message of the Madonna has been a drop of heaven amid the desert. Yet many have turned their gaze elsewhere. There is no time to pray, they say. Faith is not needed, science is enough. We don't believe in signs, we want concrete proof. But what else can a mother offer, if not her pain? In many apparitions, Mary has said clearly, I come to save you. But today, while times are tightening, while the hour approaches, her words become ever more grave. And in that goodbye, there is not only farewell, but a profound disappointment. It is as if she were saying, I have done all I could, I have warned you, I have loved you, I have protected you. Now it is you who must choose. Now it is you who must decide whether to live or perish. It is not a farewell laden with resentment, but with sadness. It is the weeping of a mother who, while knowing she must leave the scene, continues to hope that at least someone, at the last instant, will turn back. That someone, touched by the pain of the world, will remember her words. That someone, bent by the weight of life, will find refuge in her heart. Mary does not accuse us, but calls us to the truth. And the truth is that humanity has betrayed love. It has crucified the Son again with hatred, lies, and arrogance. And she, silent witness, now takes her leave. Not to abandon us, but to leave space for the fulfillment of what has been announced. Her words are like the last lights at sunset. After night will come. But on that night, whoever has preserved her love in their heart, whoever will have believed even through tears, will be ready. Because the Virgin, even in silence, even when she will no longer speak, will watch over. And whoever remained faithful to her will see her again. But this time, no longer through tears, but in the glory of the new dawn. Faced with all that the Madonna has revealed, the greatest temptation is paralysis. That fear that blocks you and convinces you that there is nothing more to be done. But it is precisely in these moments that one must react. It is now, while darkness gathers on the horizon, that one must gather inner forces, choose to remain steadfast and prepare oneself in faith and deeds. The Virgin has indicated to us in every message the weapons with which to face the final times. These are not material instruments, but spiritual shields. The first of these is prayer, and not a listless, distracted prayer, done only out of habit, but a living, ardent, daily prayer. The rosary recited in family will be your refuge, beads that flow between fingers and become golden chains that bind you to the Immaculate Heart of Mary. Each Hail Mary will be a balm that soothes fear and a call to hope. The second weapon is fasting. Fasting is not a useless gesture, nor a sterile sacrifice. Fasting means taming pride, freeing the heart from attachment to things that pass. In the messages, the Madonna has asked to offer fasts for the conversion of sinners and to ward off punishments. A day of renunciation, lived with love, can save a soul. Then there is confession. There is no authentic preparation if one does not first wash the conscience of sin. Mary has warned us, many die suddenly and present themselves before God without being ready. For this reason, the sacrament of reconciliation is a pillar. Confess with sincerity, return to living in grace. Do not postpone, do not wait for clamorous signs. The time of conversion is now. The Madonna has also recommended creating places of prayer, small communities, united families, groups that support each other in faith. When trials become harder, it will be in consecrated houses that light will be maintained. Bless your dwellings, keep a crucifix in every room, light a candle when you pray. Be silent witnesses of another life, truer and stronger than darkness. And do not forget to prepare yourselves materially as well, because difficult times will require sobriety and readiness. The Madonna has invited us to keep blessed water, to procure candles that can illuminate nights of darkness, to preserve a minimum of provisions without fear, but with discernment. It is not fanaticism, it is prudence. As Noah built the ark in peace and obedience, so you must prepare yourselves with serenity. Finally, remember, you are not alone. The Madonna has promised to be present alongside those who invoke her with trust. When the world screams with fear, those who will have welcomed her appeals will feel a mysterious peace, a strength that does not come from men. It will be the sign that she is with you. Do not wait for the last moment to change your life. Every day can be a new beginning. Every prayer, every sacrifice, every act of sincere love is a stone that builds an inviolable refuge. Make your soul become that refuge. Thus, when clouds close and the voice of the world falls silent, within you will remain a song. The song of those who through trials never surrendered because they knew they belonged to Mary. And it will be then that, even in the darkest night, you will hear her voice again. Not a definitive goodbye, but a promise. I have brought you this far. Now the rest will be done by my Son. Do not fear. I love you, and I will not leave you. If humanity continues to remain deaf, if the Virgin's supplications continue to fall into the void, then what awaits us will not be simply a difficult period, but a true purification. Mary does not say this to intimidate us, but to prepare us. Her messages are not fables, but maternal warnings that contain the truth. If man does not change course, his own obstinacy will unleash consequences that will overwhelm everything. Wars will grow in intensity until they reach a point where no continent will remain unscathed. Local conflicts, fed by hatred and thirst for domination, will explode like uncontrollable fires, and innocent victims will multiply. It will no longer be possible to remain distant spectators, because suffering will knock at the door of every person. The Madonna has repeatedly stated that humanity is playing with weapons it does not fully understand, and that if it does not bow to God, it will self-destruct. Then there will be the deepest spiritual crisis. Faith will be extinguished in many hearts. There will be priests who will deny the teaching of Christ, and entire communities that will prefer lies to truth. Families, already weakened, will be shattered by divisions and betrayals. Children will grow up without knowing the love of God, and young people will lose themselves in increasingly dangerous illusions and voids. The Madonna has wept precisely for this, for a world that prefers pride and self-sufficiency to a Father who loves it. And then natural calamities will come. She has announced it with delicacy, but also with firmness. The earth itself will rebel. Sudden storms, earthquakes, famines, not as arbitrary punishments, but as consequences of a balance broken by man, incapable of guarding the creation that has been entrusted to him. Do not allow our hearts to harden in indifference. Do not let our minds lose themselves in the darkness of the world. We are fragile, full of misery, and often we let ourselves be deceived by illusions, but within us still burns a spark that belongs to you. Light it, Mary. Transform it into a fire that does not extinguish. O Virgin of the Rosary, refuge of sinners, teach us to weep for our errors and to abandon ourselves to the mercy of your Son. Remove from our spirit every pride, every arrogance, every attachment that holds us prisoners. Give us the grace to welcome your word without fear, to recognize the signs of the times with lucidity, and to prepare ourselves with humility. Let us not wait for the last instant to convert. Let our yes be sincere and total, as was your fiat when the angel announced the mystery to you. We beseech you, most tender Mother, wrap with your mantle each one of us, our families, our friends, even those who persist in refusing you. Do not allow any of your children to be lost in darkness. When the hardest hours come, When fear seeks to suffocate us, be you our consolation. When our eyes no longer know how to see beyond ruins, grant us to hear your voice that repeats, "Courage, I am with you, do not fear." O Mother, pray for us, now and in the hour of our trial, when the world will be divided between those who will have chosen light and those who will have yielded to darkness. Let us in that moment be able to hold in our hands the rosary as a chain of salvation, and on our face let there be no desperation, but the sweet certainty that you will not abandon us. We entrust to you our hearts, our fears, our hopes. Accept all that we are and bring it to the throne of the Most High. And when at the end, your voice will say once more, "Goodbye, my children," let that greeting not be a farewell, but the beginning of an eternal embrace in the kingdom that will have no end. Amen.